What is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here, and welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel, and we are here to talk about the Monday Night Raw that took place on July 15th, 2024. Took place in Dayton, Ohio, and I am joined by Canadian Yorker. If you guys don't know, we are out of town in New Jersey, so we're actually here in our Airbnb to do this broadcast. So,
Up, guys.
all right, so let's get started. So it is the road to SummerSlam. Let's get started with the opening segment. Rhea Ripley makes her entrance. Rhea Ripley, mommy is back. She tells that mommy's home and she's gonna handle Dominik Mysterio later. Her main focus is to win back the world title that she never lost, and obviously, Liv has it, and Rhea said that, oh, Liv thinks she took her out, but really she just pissed her off and she wants to walk out of there. But then instead of Liv coming out, it's Dominic Mysterio carrying a single black rose. So basically, Dominic Mysterio is trying to make things right. But before he can say anything, Liv appears on the try Tron and says she's apologized for it and explains that she has a long night in Mexico and she's a bit of a screamer. And she says she talks about injuring briefly and talks about she meant everything when she takes everything. She's gonna take everything from Rhea, including Dom. And she talks about kissing Dom and stuff like that. Um, and basically, Rhea Ripley said that she wants to challenge Liv for SummerSlam, which Liv accepts. So it's official, guys. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World Championship at SummerSlam. So that's gonna be great. But then Liv says she knows the end game. It will always be them fighting for the title, and she said she's not gonna run. But then she left, kissing to Dom, and says Rhea Ripley said at SummerSlam she's not gonna be winning the title back. She's gonna end. She's not just gonna win the title back. She's gonna end Liv Morgan's career. So that's basically the end of the opening segment. So, what are your thoughts on this opening segment?
Uh, there's a lot there. It was my expectation that Rhea Ripley would not be returning anytime soon because she's been out obviously with that shoulder injury, and for her to come back sooner than expected is something that is a little bit of a surprise. That's my phone, by the way, that's doing that.
Oh,
So, yeah, it is a little bit of a surprise for Rhea to come back so soon. But honestly, she, it's kind of needed that she comes back because Dominic, we could say Dominic really needs the help in handling Liv Morgan, but I'd say it's about time that, we see Rhea do something really drastic, and it's already been confirmed that Rhea Ripley is a baby face now. So between now and SummerSlam, she is going to be leaving the Judgment Day, or the Judgment Day is going to be leaving her, and we're gonna have to see how things go going forward.
all right. So that's really annoying, by the way. All right, so moving on to the first match of the Monday Night Raw, we got Big Bronson Reed going one-on-one with Sheamus. So, obviously, yeah, letting you guys know that me and Canadian Yorker missed Monday Night Raw because we were actually at a K-pop concert, so I don't know exactly what happened. I forgot to watch highlights. But I know this Sheamus and Bronson Reed match was really good. So I'm just gonna try to make these recaps short and sweet since we didn't really watch it. We're just gonna tell you who won. So it turns out Sheamus had the fight in him. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was people that thought Bronson Reed was gonna win, but Sheamus has to fight. Sheamus wins by pitfall with the jumbo Testera rising knee. So not with the bro kick this time, but Sheamus defeats Bronson Reed by pitfall. But post match, Pete Dunne blindsides Reed before he can attack Sheamus. So Pete Dunne, I knew this storyline was gonna come across. The Brawling Brutes. Pete Dunne used to be Butch when he was with Sheamus, and obviously Pete Dunne doesn't want anything to do with Sheamus, but Sheamus is still trying to make friends with Pete Dunne, but Pete Dunne refuses, and when Sheamus had his back turned, Pete Dunne blindsided Sheamus. Um, and I think Pete Dunne officially has turned heel. We have to see what that storyline is. But then Bronson Reed recovers and hits a 747 splash, I believe on Sheamus. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Sheamus. Um, but what are your thoughts in this match with Sheamus beating Bronson Reed?
So it's been a while since Bronson Reed has won a match, and Bronson Reed has been dominant, was dominant force in NXT, and then to come over with WWE. He's really been struggling to get wins. Um, I'd say for him to get a win against Sheamus was great. Well, even though uh, even though Pete Dunne interfered and distracted him, it really made a big difference for Bronson Reed to be able to pick up the win. Sheamus needs to handle that business with Pete Dunne, so that's all that he has to do.
All right, so just want to talk about the back six segments real quick. So basically, Damon Priest and Rhea Ripley's catching up. It seems like Damon Priest is the only person in Judgment Day that Rhea respects, and obviously Damon Priest has been loyal to Rhea Ripley, where Finn Balor, Jaden McDonagh, and Carlito has been maybe trying to accept Liv Morgan into the group. But then Rhea Ripley did not expect Carlito to join the Judgment Day, and she asked Damon Priest why is Carlito always hanging out. But before Priest can explain, Dominic Mysterio comes and begs Rhea to hear him out, but instead, Rhea asks what you're doing the rest of the 3 months when she's out. So Rhea Ripley is just pissed off at Dom at this moment. So, and then we see Dragunov and Sami Zayn talking. They're going to be fighting for the Intercontinental Championship, which is the main event in this Raw, by the way. And then you see Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zelina Vega. And Zelina Vega actually cooked them. Leading to this next match, we're going to talk about Sonya Deville and Zelina Vega. I saw that brutal distraction. I think the referee was distracted. Shayna Baszler kind of destroyed Zelina Vega's arm. Sonya Deville takes advantage. Sonya Deville hits the inverted DDT on Selena Vega, winning by pinfall. So Sonya Deville gets her first win from injury over Selena Vega thanks to Shayna Baszler interference by pinfall. But then post match, they all three of them attacked Selena Vega, but Lyra Vicaria and Chance and Carter makes the save. So which sets up Lyra, Chance, and Carter in a six-woman tag team match next week against Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. So what are your thoughts on this match?
I think it's great that Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya have Lyra and Chanton Carter to go after them. Um, because I believe they were attacked before. And he's seeing another storyline happen right there. And so that's great for them. It's unfortunate that Zelina Vega's elbow was savagely attacked by Shayna Baszler. I mean, with a kick like that and the way that she contorted her elbow, I mean, man, that must have been really good, brutal. She could have taken her elbow out and knocked her out for a few you know, seriously injured Zelina Vega right there with that attack. I mean, that is brutal to see that happen. But Zelina Vega, chances, I mean, Sonya, Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe Stark are proving themselves to be quite a dangerous team because, as you said before, Zoe and Shayna are pretty dangerous. But now they have Sonya there, and Sonya makes us kind of takes them over the top because all three of them were able to take out damage control. And it's not easy to take out damage control, but right now damage control is a damage product. So they are the new power team right now, and they're going to be fighting everybody until they get to the top.
Yeah, all right. So moving on, we see Damon Priest and Dominik. Dominik asking him why he didn't warn him about Rhea Ripley. Damon Priest said that Dom lied to him about talking Rhea, that he's been playing with Liv. Main event, Jey Uso apparently wants a piece of Rhea Ripley, saying that is she single? Maybe. Tell her I said hey. which is hilarious. And then basically, Chad Gable cracked the code and said, Uncle Howdy is Bull Dallas. Duh. Um, and then basically, moving on to the next segment, we got World Heavyweight Champion Damon Priest making his entrance. He gets on mic and tells Ohio to rise for El Campeonato. He's out here to wrestle Braun Strowman, but he wants to talk about Gunther first, where Gunther comes out. He said that Damian is so confident carrying Raw week to week, living his childhood dream as world champion, and said that on his statement of Damian is not living to it. And Damien said that, oh, he wishes he was at SummerSlam right now so he can knock that superstar off his face. Gunther said it was never his dream. And then Damien was fighting in the street every day of his life, and I don't know, they were just trash talking each other. And then I think that's pretty much the end. I don't want to talk too much about it. I think Gunther called Damien Priest, what was it? A douchebag? I don't know, scumbag. Oh yeah, constant privileges scumbag. So before I talk about the next track, any thoughts on this Damian Priest and Gunther segment? I honestly said this before. I'm excited for this SummerSlam match. Honestly, I would have probably maybe would consider Seth Rollins versus Gunther, but I feel like Damian and Gunther would have been the better choice. So it's gonna be a banger of a match at SummerSlam between Gunther and Damian Priest. I'm pumped. What are your thoughts?
I think that it's going to be really interesting to see who's going to win at SummerSlam between Gunther and Damian Priest. I am also excited for that because it's kind of a toss up between both of them. Um, I probably would give the edge more to Gunther, but I'm definitely more interested to see who's going to win between Gunther and Damian Priest together. Both of them facing each other at SummerSlam with no interferences going on whatsoever. So that's going to be pretty interesting, I say.
Okay, so this is weird. So moving on to Damien Priest and Braun Strowman. I don't know what the hell happened here.
That
Um,
looks like a typo.
yeah, so basically Braun Strowman, I think he's dealing it looked like from that is he had a knee injury or something. But at the end of the match, you guys can watch the match. There's no description of the match, which is weird. But Damon Priest was able to hit the South of Heaven on Braun Strowman to win the match. Damon Priest defeats Braun Strowman by pinfall, but post-match, Gunther returns to the ring and squares off with Priest, slapping him across the jaw. Damon with the right hand of his own, putting boots to the ring general. Gunther retreats. So, I don't know if you saw the match. What are your thoughts on Damon Priest defeating Braun Strowman by pinfall?
Well, it's not every day that somebody gets to beat Braun Strowman, and Damian Priest actually beats Braun Strowman. I mean, both of them were nobody could actually face him one on one. But Damien is able to do that, and that's what makes him interesting as a character. I definitely think that Braun Strowman is going to be the next contender coming up to face Damien for a chance to get the world heavyweight championship in the future. Braun Strowman is definitely going to be Damien's next opponent sometime if Damien wins against Gunther. We'll have to see how things go. I really like that matchup, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen.
All right, so moving on, we see Alpha Academy chatting backstage when Chad Gable rolls up. It seems like Chad Gable wants them to help him, but he excited that they all came around and said he figured out Uncle Howdy's Bo Dallas, but then Maxine said we all know that, and Chad Gable acts like they're gonna have his back when he calls Bulls out. But then Xavier Woods comes out, so this is interesting because um, Kofi Kingston's obviously hurt after getting attacked by Karen Cross last week. Xavier Woods rose up and aligns himself with the Alpha Academy and gets the final testament. So that's going to be interesting to see. So talking about the next match, we got Kanan Chance and Kaden Carter versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Like I said, I don't really know what happened in the match because we both didn't watch the match. We were at the K-pop concert. I know it was a great match. They're just great competitors, but I feel like Chance and Carter hasn't really been winning a lot of matches, to be honest. But Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, they're just two dangerous women that you don't want to fuck with. So, but at the end, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark gets the dub. by Pitfall with a lateral press from Stark on Cannon Chance by Pitfall. So, what are your thoughts on this match?
What happened to Chaz and Carter? I mean, they were tag team champions at one point. They beat Chelsea Green and Pimpin Evans, obviously. But they had a lot of momentum going forward. It kind of sucks to see that they can't pick up wins because they're very capable of picking up wins. They definitely beat Damage Control before once, but then they lost it the second time. But I know Chance and Carter are a good tag team. They can win against Zoe Stark and Sonya. They beat them before, but it's kind of unfortunate that they lost this time. But I mean, you can't win everything, but I would say that Timothy Carter definitely have to go back to the drawing board and pick up some wins again. And, it's unfortunate to see that happen. But I know that, Zoe and Shayna are getting two wins because they're getting this push. Uh, so it is what it is, unfortunately.
All right, so moving on. Finn Balor chats with Rhea Ripley, and Finn Balor admits that Liv Morgan helped them, but Rhea Ripley does not want to talk about Liv Morgan. Says that she's glad the titles are back, and she says she's getting her world title. I don't know, Rhea. You gotta watch your back. You might get backstabbed by the Judgment Day. We have to see what happens. We're gonna go more in depth about this situation when we make our SummerSlam picks because I have something that I would like to predict about the SummerSlam matchup between Liv and Rhea. There's going to be a huge storyline, so I can't wait to. I'm not going to talk about what I think is going to happen, but I just got to say, Rhea Ripley, you got to watch your back. Same with you, Damon Priest. Something's going on. So, but talking about it, Damon Priest, excuse me, not Damon Priest, Dominik Mysterio. Oh my God, Dominik Mysterio rolls up and says he's got a match against Jey Uso to prove that nobody talks about his woman like that, and Rhea calls him stupid, and that's what he's doing. And then Dom offers to cancel the match. Rhea asks if he's a coward, and he said he just wants to prove she's still his mommy and belongs to him. And then that's like Rhea Ripley's taking offense, and everyone's like, that is not cool. So Dom, you just fucked up. Moving on to the next match, we got Drew McIntyre. So the story was Drew McIntyre. It said that he was got suspended last week. Well, suspended for elbowing Adam Pearce in the face at that Money in the Bank and pushing two referees. But then CM Punk wants a match with Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Um, Last week on Raw, Adam Pearce promised CM Punk that he would get on the phone with Drew and see if he's even, precisely professional. Um, so Drew McIntyre said that he wants the match. Adam Pearce said tell him to leave. Obviously, and he said that he can book the match if you apologize to those two referees that you shoved. Right here, shoved those. And McIntyre says asked why he would apologize, and Adam said he disrespected them. And Drew McIntyre said that it's water under the bridge and time to move on. McIntyre feel like it's their fault, so he said no. And then they chatted CM Punk's name. McIntyre said no, and then once again, shoved both referees once again. So instead of Drew McIntyre apologizing and having that match at SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre will remain suspended. And because of that, Seth Rollins comes out and saves Adam Pearce, and he and Drew brawl. Like, when is this Drew McIntyre and Seth rivalry gonna end? Like, why? Why, man? I just feel like there's gonna be a storyline where Adam Pearce has no choice to make a triple threat match, Seth versus Drew versus CM Punk, since they all have history, and then one person hates the other. Just like CM Punk hates both Drew and Seth, and then like Seth hates CM Punk, Drew hates. But I feel like Seth respects Drew more than CM Punk. I don't know. But then Seth Rollins attacks Drew McIntyre, ending the segment. So, any thoughts before I move on?
I will say this. I believe that Seth hates Seth hates CM Punk more than he hates Drew. Okay, he doesn't hate Drew that much. He is Drew is more like Seth's rival. I believe that Drew and Seth both do not like CM Punk because CM Punk actually screwed both of them over. Okay, CM Punk screwed Seth over needs to lift the suspension. He needs to make this a triple threat match. He can make this a triple threat cage and element cell match, a triple threat bad blood match, a triple threat street fight match. Okay, we can have that happen. Okay, and only one person can come out of this on top, obviously. All three of these, only CM Punk is coming back from injury. Seth Rollins, we still don't know the extent of the injury. He is 100%, but we don't know how much how much recovered he is. He didn't come back from surgery, so honestly, there definitely needs to be a triple threat match at SummerSlam or after SummerSlam. So we're gonna have to see how things go going forward. Adam just can't keep dealing with this drama every single week. It's gonna drive him mad. So he needs to just suspend this thing and let there be a triple threat match at SummerSlam.
All right, so moving on. I'm not going to talk too much about it. You guys can watch the video on YouTube. So apparently another Wyatt 6 VHS tape was dropped off, but instead on the Monday Night Raw, it was dropped off at a Pat McAfee show. But I'm not going to talk too much about it. If you guys want to see what happens, watch it on YouTube. The full videos on YouTube. So I'm going to skip that so you guys can watch it. I just want to get this video done. So moving on, we got Dominik Mysterio going one-on-one with main event Jey Uso. I know Dominic was, trash talking Jay, saying, "Don't talk about my mommy." And then Liv Morgan shows up and to save him, and Dominic pretending that she doesn't want to be down here. Jey Uso drops kicks him to her, and once again holds her down, and we're back to square one. Dominic Mysterio, Liv is on top of Dom. Then it switches to Liv being on top of Dom. And then that's when Rhea Ripley had enough. Liv Morgan once again runs away. Dom begs off. Rhea Ripley after he tells Rey Mysterio to get back in there and finish it. But it was too late. Jey Uso with the spear. He goes on top. Jey Uso wins by pinfall with the Diamond Splash. So maybe there's a storyline. Maybe Rhea Ripley is noticing that Liv is forcing herself on Dom, and Dom doesn't want it. Maybe that's what people think it is, but I'm not sure. Maybe Rhea looks like she would piss at Liv, and he's like, Dom doesn't want that. Maybe he's telling the truth. But what happened after the match is weird. It's like Rhea Ripley kind of gives back a rose to Dom and says that you're my Dom Dom. Um, it looks like maybe people are saying that, oh, can she probably forgive him? But it's a little fishy. So what are your thoughts?
So weird now because of
Because
the
after he
WWE
lost,
is
yeah,
now.
because after he lost, Rhea Ripley had a chat with him in the backstage, and it's like she smiled at Dom, gave him a flower back, and said that you're mine. And it's like, no, there's something fishy going on.
I think she's just being nice for the sake of
People are
being nice.
saying a lot of people are saying that Liv is gonna use Dom to get to live. So that's smart. So people are saying that Rhea Ripley is pretending to be nice to Dom to get to live herself. So
All right, guys. So Rhea Ripley is being nice to Dominic so she can use him to get to Liv Morgan. And honestly, what Dominic is doing is Dominic is now being a pawn in the hands of Liv and of Rhea. He is a pawn. He is putty. He is clay dough in the hands of Dom, in the hands of Rhea and of Liv. And honestly, I mean, Dominic can see this coming from a mile away, but Dominic is being gullible as heck. Dominic needs to just get himself out of the Judgment Day, honestly. But I don't see that happening yet because people still hate Dom. Obviously, Dominic is up to Dominic to decide on which side he is on. Is he on the Morgan side or is he on Rhea Ripley's side? We're gonna have to see what he's gonna do going forward.
all right. So moving on, we got Chad Gable going to the ring, and obviously I don't know why Chad Gable didn't figure out that Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas. So Chad Gable calls out Bo Dallas. I knew something was up when we saw Bo Dallas in Adam Pearce's office. I said that, oh, next week, Bo Dallas and Chad Gable is going to have a segment. I was right. I said, like, it's got to be something like that. Bo Dallas comes out with no music, but then out of nowhere, Brutus and Julius Creed. Finally, we've been talking about for months or we've been talking about this for months. Chad Gable aligning himself with Brutus and Julius Creed, ambushing both from behind and beating him up on the ramp. They throw him in the ring and stand tall, but Bo Dallas was just laughing, kind of like a Bray Wyatt laugh. And then they hold him for elbows. The beatdown continues, and he laughed anymore. Chad Gable turns and Chad Gable starts doing the old Brody Lee, yeah, leading Chad Gable, and asks uh to ask Dallas why he's laughing, and tells him that he is. He tells them that both tells them that he is, and the light starts going down. The Wyatts are here. One of them raises the lanterns and they advance. They hit the ring and help Dallas up, and then he kneels on spread and they embrace. So it looked like Chad Gable, Brutus, and Julius Creed was right to get out there. So, so what are your thoughts? Yeah, first off, finally, right? We've been talking about Brutus and Julius Creed aligning with Chad Gable, but I actually thought it was gonna be a different path. I thought they were gonna align just to get revenge on Alpha Academy. Like I thought Brutus and Julius Creed would align with Chad Gable and them attacking Otis and Tozawa. But instead, it's the Wyatt Six situation. So.
Right now, they can't do anything against Alpha Academy because they are they have their hands full with the Wyatt Six right now. Chad Gable has his hands full with the Wyatt Six before he can start a feud with Alpha Academy. So it makes sense that they have to take care of the biggest threat right now, which is the Wyatt Six. After they get the Wyatt Six out their back, they can definitely focus on Alpha Academy as a group. And I would say, it's unfortunate that the Creed brothers aligned themselves with Chad Gable because they were a pretty strong tag team going forward. For some reason, they lost a lot of their matches going on. So for Chad Gable to join them, I think it's a good pickup for them, and it's a win-win situation for Chad and the Creed brothers because they're really good technical wrestlers. They do need a new name for themselves as a new group. So I'd like to see what's going to happen with them going
Yeah,
forward.
but the question is, does that mean? See, my only concern is does that mean the Creed brothers have officially turned heel because they attacked both others? But the only problem is the Wyatt Six is a heel faction,
Yeah.
so that's the problem. Like a heel faction versus a heel faction. Yeah. And my
Moment.
question is, where does Ivy Nile get in this? Like, Ivy Nile was not there. What's the situation if the Creed brothers turn heel, but Ivy Nile still face? So that's my question.
Yeah.
So it's like a difficult, like, what's going on? It's like, I mean, it'll be crazy. I mean, this might be, I mean, we could definitely see a heel faction versus a heel faction. It's happened before. We've seen, what is it? We've seen like Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits when they were heels, they were facing the Bloodline. That was a heel faction versus a heel faction. We've seen Bobby Lashley, I think, and Street Profits versus Santos Group. They were both heel factions, but then it turned out to be Bobby's group turned face. So we could see a heel faction of the Creed brothers and Chad versus a heel faction of Wyatt. But I feel like the Wyatt family could be the baby faces in this feud because like people said, oh, Wyatt Six is gonna be a heel faction, but the Proud are gonna still cheer because of Bray Wyatt's tribute. So we can see probably the Wyatt Six being the baby faces in this feud. So
Let's see. Here.
yeah. But they're creepy. They look like a heel, but people still cheer them. They don't boo them.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, I don't know. Right now, at this point in time, I do think that Chad Gable, I mean, that Chad Gable is a heel right now, but the Creed brothers, I think, are not heels.
Because once the Creed brothers and Chad beat up Bo Dallas, you can hear some boos. So.
Yeah. Let's see what's going to
All
happen.
right, moving on to the main event. We got Dragunov versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Um, Not a lot happened. I didn't really watch. I should have watched it. But we all knew what was gonna happen. It was just predictable. Obviously, earlier in the show, Braun Breaker was jealous that Dragunov got a title match, but then uh, Braun Breaker ran his mouth and said that he's going to do something about it, leading Adam Pearce to get the referees to kick Bronson Reed out of the arena. But I'm like, there's no way he's coming back. And what do you know? What the heck? I almost said Bronson Reed. Excuse me. Braun Breaker comes back somehow and Dragunov wins by disqualification. And I'm like, book the fucking triple threat match right now, Adam Pearce, for SummerSlam. Sami, Dragunov, Braun Breaker, please. But apparently not. I guess they're gonna save it. I don't know. But then Dragunov was just, I mean, Braun Breaker was just finishing up this mess, hitting a spear on Sami Zayn. Braun Breaker standing tall. Like, this guy is a madman. Like, oh my God. Like, people are like scratching their heads. It's like, how the hell did Sami beat this man? So, but man, Braun Breaker is an absolute beast. And that's the end of the show, guys. So, what are your thoughts?
It's Adam Pearce definitely has his hands full. He has to deal with Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Now he has to deal with Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and Dragon. Some other issues that he has to deal with WWE. Obviously, I can see why the job is so stressful being a manager in WWE, and you know, Pierce is doing an amazing job despite the difficulties that he's in and
Yeah.
the
But
situation.
there's just haters too. People believe that Nick Aldis is a way better general manager than Adam Pearce because of the whole Roman Reigns situation. Roman Reigns always bullies Adam Pearce to do whatever. Adam Pearce always goes to Roman like Roman just treated Adam Pearce like he was their 5 years old son, basically. But now that people see that when Nick Aldis meets Roman for the first time, Nick Aldis says, "Oh, I'm the main GM. I don't give a fuck what you say." And people are like, "Yeah, Nick Aldis is way better than Adam Pearce." So, but people are saying like, "Oh, Nick Aldis should just be the GM for both Raw and SmackDown." So that's just basically it. So.
Honestly, I don't know. That's a
'Cause
lot of
I
workload.
just feel like it's because people liked how Nick Aldis handled Roman instead of Adam handled Roman. Like Roman thinks he's the center of the universe, but Adam Pearce is just a scared little boy that's listening to Roman. But once Nick Aldis gets there in the picture, Nick Aldis is like, I don't give a fuck. I'm the manager. So I just feel like people think that Nick Aldis handled Roman way better than Adam.
Well, yeah, he did because he's the perfect man
Yeah,
for the job to
basically Nick
handle
Aldis
Roman.
made Roman hate him. Like after Nick Aldis says, "I am so looking forward for future talks," and then Roman's just looking at him like, yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Nick Aldis is the perfect guy to handle Roman because he can stand toe to toe with Roman.
yeah.
He knows what it's like in Roman's shoes. Nick Aldis has been champion before. Nick Aldis has had title runs before. Okay.
But question is, can Nick Aldis take care of what's going on with Braun Breaker? Can he handle because Braun Breaker was on SmackDown for a bit, but we didn't really see any interaction between Nick and Braun since Braun got drafted to Raw. But question is, can Nick Aldis handle the CM Punk Drew McIntyre situation better than
I
Adam
think it
Pearce?
would be too much for Nick Aldis to handle
Yeah.
because right now, Adam Pearce is doing a job that Nick Aldis can't handle. Adam Pearce is definitely standing his ground. Adam Pearce is definitely trying to do his best job that he can to handle all the situations going on. And so I think Adam Pearce is definitely being more lenient with the things going on. Because you have to look at it this way. I'd say, yeah, Nick Aldis has to deal with the whole situation going on with the bloodline and Cody Rhodes and some other things going on SmackDown. But I believe Adam Pearce definitely has the harder workload of the two because he has to deal with maybe two or three things going on, um, all at once. And so it can be a little bit more busier for Adam Pearce on Raw than it does on SmackDown. So I definitely think Adam Pearce is doing a better job despite the fact that Nick Aldis is definitely showing that he's a stronger guy. He's definitely fired the bloodline. He's definitely fined the bloodline. He's done other things with some other people that are not acting the way they should be acting. But I definitely think Nick Aldis is doing the right thing. I mean, he's resuspended. He's given Drew McIntyre a chance to actually make up for his mistake. But then when he didn't, he actually said that he's going to stay suspended. So we don't know what's going to happen with Drew McIntyre going forward until Drew McIntyre gets what he wants. And actually,
Drew
Seth
McIntyre,
Rollins is coming back
yeah,
to back up Nick Aldis, and that
you
shows
mean Adam
something.
Pearce?
Seth Rollins. I just want to say this. Sorry, Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins really respects. Seth Rollins respects. Seth Rollins respects Adam Pearce as a general manager, and that says something. So
All right, so and I'm just gonna say Drew McIntyre is probably gonna invade CM Punk's house. Um,
that's gonna happen. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna happen, and that's gonna pull the triggers. Like Adam Pearce, like I can't do this anymore. Let's just give Drew what he wants. Just have them tear apart each other. But that will do it for Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for watching. In terms of grading, I give this a A minus. How about you?
I'll give it an A. It was great.
All right, so that would do it, guys. Thank you guys for watching Monday Night Raw. We're here in New Jersey. If you guys don't know what's going on out of town together, but if you're new, like, subscribe, check out Canadian Yorker's channel, which the link will be in the description, as well as our wrestling channel, which is WWE Wrestling Bros. But that would do it. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you guys in the next broadcast, whenever that is, hopefully. So that would do it. My name is Bruno Steele, this is Canadian Yorker. See you guys later.
Yeah.